Okay, I'm going to try and show you how we can use the LittleBits kit to build up some sort of tune. And the secret on the LittleBits kit is the sequencer, because that's what gives this thing life. And it has two outputs. One is from the frequency from each step, and one is from just a trigger from each step, which means we can actually slave another sequencer, which is what we're going to do for our drum beat here. I've actually got the keyboard in hold mode, so that means I can just set the baseline frequency of the sequencer from here. So I've actually set up a lot of stuff in advance, but let me just show you what I'm going to do here. What I've got here is I'll just attach a straight oscillator into the circuit here. I've got a splitter here, but I'm only running it into this oscillator right now. The other one's not attached to the sound. And if we just stick that raw into the output, if I know what I'm doing here, we should get something like this. Right, so that's our square wave. That's a simple square wave on that. Oh, we have a saw wave too. Let's keep a nice square wave there. I've already set the frequencies here for this because it's a bit fiddly to get them just right. It takes quite a while, but that's on step there. So we've put another oscillator in sequence here, which I think we already have over here. Just pop this, in parallel. Put this oscillator into here, and then bung it into our mixer here. That's a nice detune on that. Okay. We'll get, these are some cut-off filters, only low pass. We'll get those working in a second. Let's pop those over here. But what we're going to do is we are going to run the drum sequencer out of here. I'm actually going to cheat and get two sequencers going out of here. I now seem to have killed everything. Let's take it off again. Right, this is not atypical with LittleBits. Occasionally it does some mystery things that take a while to figure out. Let's take that off there. All I want to do is run that sequencer off there. That's what we had before. Let's just reset the sequencer. It's probably the mixer. Audio is there. That's fine. That's set to go. Let's reboot the whole thing. Yeah, that's just a reboot. Okay, that's not unusual for this. Sometimes when you get a few things connected together, it gets a bit confused. You have to reset. We're back running the sequencer. We're going to run our drum sequencer as well here. And actually, we got this set to step and not clock, because that's running the clock, and this is just running steps off of this signal here, which is just a trigger. We are now going to run a single oscillator out here for the beat, and we want to mix it back into the output. So we will just grab a mixer here, and then we'll mix that back into the output for here. So that is now going into there, and now we're mixing drums. Again, another not unusual behaviour of this circuit. That's my basic drum beat, and what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of envelope onto that drum beat. So just bung the envelope onto there. Keep it a square wave. Right, now I can bring back the main bit. Maybe tune this down a bit. That sounds a bit better. Right, we've actually got another cheeky trigger coming off of here, because what we want to do here is we want to get a bit of the hi-hat too. And I made a mess of this, but basically we're going to just send that straight into a noise generator, and I think we're going to pop that in an envelope as well, because that's going to be its own symbols there. And out of the mess that I've generated here, we're going to get another mixer, because we want to mix in our hi-hats with our main beat here. And get some of this. Let's take out the right. That's good. Now this is what's really great. We're going to bung a bit of delay onto the drums here, give them a nicer sound. There we go. Right, so there's our drums. Let's bring back the main sequence. Get the D tune. There we go. Now let's run the main sequence again. What I've done here is I've actually got a couple of these low pass filters, and I put frequency oscillators directly into them so I can get my sort of LFO effect there. So we're going to bung this into here like that. So there's one low pass filter on there. And now you can see we can start playing with the filters. But now what we want to do is we want to get these filters, actually the LFOs into these filters, triggered by another oscillator. So I'm just going to pull one of these splitters out of the mess I have here, and I'm actually being a bit lazy, but I found there's another trigger here I can just use, get straight onto, and I know that's going to trigger at the same beat because it's just repeating the trigger that came into it, and I'm going to use that as my triggers for my LFOs, which is where it gets horrific cross circuits. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Right, I think one thing we're missing now is we want to put some envelope onto the end here. So put that onto the actual the main music beat. Right, stick the envelope onto that. Right, I think we've actually got our drum sequencer out of line with our clock sequencer. There's a little trick to doing this. I'm going to slow down this sequencer and I'm going to run it to, basically run it to clock very slowly. So that when it's on 4, just do a bit of fiddling to get this to line up. Okay, we're lined up now. Now I can run up the sequence. Okay. That's about as good as we can get for now.